So, without further ado, let's get our guest speaker in here, our reigning champ. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Right Bench Podcast. I'm Charlie.
And I'm James.
This is Season 3, Episode 3. It's been a long time since we started, James. This is crazy.
We're here.
This episode we will be building a 12-team playoff, and all the regular stuff, and we will have a guest picker for NFL picks for the first time.
Well,
And yeah, we apologize for all the stuff that's going to happen, trying to get him in here, but it'll be great. Don't worry.
all right. So, to get into our first segment, we're going to be building a 12-team playoff, and now this being the first year of the 12-team playoff, we each built one, and then we're going to talk about kind of why we picked that team to finish where we think they're going to finish. And we're just going to, just figure it out as we go. But it should be fun. Let's get into it. You start us off, Charlie.
Yeah, we're going to start the 12 seeds. Y'all comment down below who you think the 12 seed is going to be this year out of the group of 5. And then while you're there, like and subscribe and all that too. All right.
Sure.
My 12 seed is going to be Memphis. It's them and Tulane are going to be the best AAC teams. But Tulane has 2 losses, so it's going to be tough for them. And Memphis beat Florida State, which is a really key win for them. And I believe they will win their conference. They play Tulane at the end of the year, but then they'll play each other probably again. And then they win their conference. Memphis gets in as the 12 seed.
So to explain Group of 5 just a little bit for people who don't know, I'm sure most of y'all know, it is not a Big 5 conference like they say. The Pac-12, the ACC, the Big 10, Big 12, and SEC. It's one out of a different conference. And I'm going to go with the Northern Illinois Huskies. I believe that they're going to go 12-0, and with a big win over Notre Dame. I don't think you can count them out. I think they're going to be the best Group of 5 team by record-wise, and that win over Notre Dame is going to keep coming back and helping them out to potentially get in the playoff. I think they do. I think they're a good team. I think they win their conference pretty easily. I don't think they're going to be able to hang in the playoffs, but I do think they go 12-0 and get in.
Yeah, if they go 12-0, they get in.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, my 11 seed is going to be Penn State. It's the same every year for Penn State. They're going to win all their games except for the big ones, right? And they'll get in, and this, I believe, with a loss to Ohio State and maybe a loss to USC. I guess I'm predicting that right now. So they're going to have 2 losses. They're going to be in as the 11 seed.
So, yeah, something that I have on here is I don't have any 2-loss teams in here, if I'm being honest. I think it's possible that they get in, but when I was making it, it just didn't end up happening.
There's going to be less than 11 1-loss teams. There's no way.
Maybe. I'm going to go with Missouri here at the 11 seed. I think they go 11-1. I think they lose to Bama. Besides that, I think they pick up key wins. They're a really good team this year. Their offense is stacked. And I think they can actually hang in the playoff and make a little push as we get later into the season. But I don't know. I think this team is a playoff lock for me. I think they're pretty low, but I don't know. I couldn't count them.
They can make the SEC championship. If they only lose one SEC game, they might make the SEC championship.
They could. Maybe.
Even that's 2 losses, and then, Anyway.
Maybe.
My number 10 is Missouri. I was between them and Tennessee for my last SEC team. But Missouri just has a more experienced quarterback and a more experienced team in general. And they have a much easier schedule than Tennessee, so I went with Missouri at the 10 seed.
Okay. And my 10 seed, I went with USC, the University of Southern California. I think they're going to have 1 loss on their resume. I think they go 11-1. I think they lose to Nebraska, actually. I think they beat Notre Dame and Penn State. They're both at home in the Coliseum. I think USC's a really good team this year. I think they're a team who is dangerous when it comes to playoff time. Their offense is electric, and their defense has gotten so much better than last year that is something that I think is a bright side for them, which is really good because I don't know. I think this USC team, throughout the years, USC has been, offense power heavy. Their defense is not as good. This year, they have a really good defense, and I think that really helps them in the long run.
Yeah, I'm going to go with USC as my 9 seed, actually.
Okay. That's fair.
They had a great win versus LSU, sorry. And I just don't think they're that good, but they have such a cupcake schedule that they'll get in either with 1 loss or maybe even undefeated. So, USC is my 9 seed.
Yeah, so as my 9 seed, I think this is going to be probably the most shocking one out of all of them. I'm going with Nebraska and the freshman Dylan Raiola to get in as the 9 seed. I think they go 11-1. I think they lose to Oklahoma State. They beat USC. Looking at their schedule, it's not that hard. Nebraska is a team who I don't know if they can contend in the Big Ten, but I think they're definitely a team that gets in, especially with that 1 loss.
They just lost to Illinois. So
No!
sorry about that, James.
Bro! All right, then they're just gonna beat Oklahoma State. That's fine. I still think they can make it.
we're on 8 seed, right? Yeah. Sorry, tough prediction there. That was just not a good one. My number 8 is gonna be Alabama. Let's see what I have. I mean, they're not as good as they have been in years past, just because Saban left. I think the DAWG is a really good coach, and they have a really talented team behind Jalen Murray, who's still my pick to win the Heisman. And they'll be given credit here with, I think they'll have 2 losses, but they'll be given credit.
At my 8, I'm going with a Big 12 team. My second Big 12 team in here. I think I'm going to go with Kansas State here. I think they get in at 11-1. I think Avery Johnson is a quarterback who's going to show a lot this year. He's already shown a lot in a couple games. He's very, very impressive. I think they have 1 loss to Oklahoma State. But I don't know. I think the Big 12 this year is pretty easily, there's a top 4 teams and there's no one else really even close.
I don't think the Big 12 gets more than 1. It's just there's too much SEC and Big 10 going on.
I don't know about that.
Like they shouldn't get more than 1. Unless one of their, because like they're all gonna lose to each other at some point. Like they're all gonna even out. It's like
maybe.
Anyway, my number 7 seed is gonna be Oregon. They're a great team. They have lots of talent. Dylan Gabriel, all the guys they have around him. But they're gonna lose to Ohio State twice, and that's what's gonna put them down in this 7 seed.
Yeah. So Oregon was a team that I thought about a lot, and I ended up not putting them in my playoff. Oregon and Penn State were the 2 teams that I did end up leaving out just because their schedule's pretty hard.
Penn State
hard.
only plays Ohio State and USC.
Exactly.
They don't play anyone else.
That's 2 losses.
They can get in with 2 losses as the last team. There's not going to be.
My 7th seed, I'm gonna go with Bama. I think Bama this year goes 11-1. I think they lose to Georgia. I think they have a lot of close games though this year, and I think their talent just in the end, it overweighs some. Like, so for an example, we were talking about this actually last week. When you have a team like LSU and South Carolina really going at it like towards the end, LSU's talent sometimes just takes over, and their athletic ability just takes over, and that's what propels you to a win. I think that's what happens in a lot of games this year with Bama. That's happened in the past. I think it's a lot of close games, but again, I think they get in with their new head coach.
All right, yeah. So we're gonna just got really some brackets just because you're terrible Nebraska picks.
What do you mean?
Throwing them off.
Yeah.
All right. My 6th seed is gonna be Ole Miss. They're the most explosive team in college football, in my opinion. I don't think it's too close. But I mean, they just won't win all their games. They're a little vulnerable on the defensive side. It's just they're Ole Miss. They're not gonna go undefeated. They're gonna probably lose 1, miss out on the SEC championship, and be in the 6th seed.
Yeah, I also have my 6th seed, have Ole Miss. I wanted to put them higher, but I really couldn't. There's 5 better teams or 5 teams that should go ahead of them.
You also have to have like
yeah, you have to have the champion. Yes, exactly. So Ole Miss, I think, goes 11-1. I think they do lose to Georgia. I don't think that game is very close. But besides that, I think Ole Miss is going to blow people out this year. Like you were saying, they're electric. Like they truly are. Jackson Dart is a Heisman contender. They have one of the best tight ends in the league or in the nation. And their receiving core is really good. They did lose Judkins, but I think that Ole Miss is a team to be like. I'd be scared going up against Ole Miss if I got them as my 6th seed.
They had Judkins, they'd be crazy.
Yeah, they would be good. Yeah, I don't understand how they couldn't keep him. Like,
I don't know. Maybe probably couldn't pay him enough.
Probably.
Anyway, my number 5 seed is going to be Texas. I think they go out, they beat Georgia in the regular season, go 12-0, get the SEC championship, and then lose to Georgia. I'm just going to say Georgia. And they'll end up in the 5 seed. But they're so talented, and they'll have a great year.
So I think at my 5, I'm going to go with Georgia. I think they do lose that 1 game to Texas. And then I think that it's Ole Miss, or sorry, not Ole Miss and Texas. I think it's Georgia and Texas in the SEC championship, and I think Texas beats them again. So I still have Georgia coming in as my 5th seed at 11-1. They're the best team. They're the best team in the nation. They are. Yeah.
They have to play Texas twice.
Or 11-2 or whatever. Either way, they're getting into 5. They're
2-loss team.
They're good enough to get in. I wasn't thinking about SEC championship or whatever. Either way, Georgia, I have it going in my 5. I think they lose to Texas twice. But Georgia's still a team that you always have to be scared for. Carson Beck is a guy who truly, I don't know how I feel about him, but he is supposed to be one of the most elite quarterbacks in the nation right now.
I think this is
when you have that, I mean, you're fine.
Yeah. Let's go on number 4 seed. My Big 12 champion is going to be Utah. I think they're going to ride pretty easily through this relatively weak conference. They have a solid offense led by Cameron Rising. It's just about average as always, but their defense is always going to be good. That's what they're going to lean on this year to get the 4 seed.
Okay, so as my Big 12 team, I have at the 4 seed, I have Oklahoma State losing 1 game, winning the Big 12. I think they have big wins over K-State, big wins over Utah, but I think they drop a stupid game like Arizona State or Arizona down at the end of the season, and I think that kind of hurts them, but I do think they end up winning the Big 12, but I'm not sure how they do once they get in the playoff, but I have them in my 4.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're going to lose to whoever the SEC team is at the 5.
They might, yeah.
All right, my number 3 is going to be Miami. It's a really terrible conference they're in, called the ACC. And, I mean, Cam Ward is dominant. You know, they're going to win all their games. Cam Ward might even win the Heisman. This is a 3-seed Miami team.
Yeah, I do too. So I have Miami. I don't have Miami losing a game, but I do have them in my 3. I have 1, 2, 3 all going undefeated. I think Miami is a great team. They are in an easy conference. It's theirs to lose. And I do think that Cam Ward is going to be invited to New York for the Heisman campaign. And I don't know. I think Miami is a scary team once they get in the playoff. I think they're scary.
If your top 3 are all undefeated, mine are not. My number 2 is going to be Georgia. They're the best team, I think, in college football. And they dominate the trenches all the time. They have very good skill players. But they have one of the hardest schedules I've ever seen, almost. They play Texas, they play Bama, they play Ole Miss.
Yeah,
and they're also in the SEC. So that's why I have them winning all their games except for Texas in the regular season, then beating them in the SEC championship and getting the 2 seed.
Okay, that's fair. At my 2 seed, I'm going to go Ohio State. I think they're going to blow people out this year. I think the one game that's close is the Penn State game. It's at Penn State. I think they kill Michigan at the end of the season. And I think Ohio State gets back in that 2 spot. They go undefeated. They win the Big Ten. I don't think it's close. I think they run away with it. And Ohio State grabs the 2 seed.
Yeah, I have Ohio State my 1. There's too much talent. Much talent. And the only reason I have them here over Georgia is because Georgia's going to have the loss. Ohio State will not lose a game this year. They're going to dominate the Big Ten, and that's all you got to say about it.
And my number 1 seed, and who I think might win the national championship, I'm going with Texas. I think they have 2 crucial wins over Georgia, one in the SEC championship, one in the regular season. They play Georgia at home in the regular season. I think Texas, really, all of their big games are at home this year, and they don't have a very hard schedule. I think it's a very easy road for Texas to go undefeated this year. I think they're the best team in college football, and I think they grab the 1.
All right, who do you think is going to win the national championship? One pick right now.
I mean, I want to say Texas, but I'm gonna go with my heart here. I'm gonna go Missouri wins the national championship.
That's so not right. That's not right.
I think they go on a little run.
You know that's wrong.
I won't actually say that. I think Texas does actually win the national championship. I think they're the best team on paper. They have one of the best quarterbacks, and their receiving core is too good. Their defense has struggled at times, but I think Texas is too good to not win this year. They have to win it this year. It's now or never.
Well, they do have Arch Manning, so maybe not.
Well, that's for sure.
But I'll have either Ohio State or Texas. I'm not sure. I think it'll come down to them 2, but I'll say Texas as well.
Yeah.
SEC rules, baby.
Yeah.
All right.
And they're new in the SEC. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. Don't look over here because I'm not. Reverse going to be 5 over here,
Okay.
so just don't look. I'll do my recent rundown because it's time for a recent rundown. It's a big week. Big 2 weeks because we didn't have an episode last week, so it might take a second. But you just cue the music and we'll go ahead. Question: what can Ohtani do if he only hits and doesn't pitch? Answer: the first ever 50-50 season. Does run a 3-homer game too. He's a freaking alien. Alright. Kyle Schwarber sets record with his 14th leadoff homer of the year. That's MLB record. Dak Prescott gets paid. 4 years, $240. That's an extension. Tua Tagovailoa leaves the game versus the Bills with a concussion after a big hit from DeMar Hamlin. Will Tua retire? I don't know. Anthony Santander gets 40 homers. Heard of him? CMC, Pacheco, and Hollywood Brown put on IR. Hollywood Brown's out for the rest of the regular season. Woj, Adrian Wojnarowski retires from ESPN to be the GM at St. Bonaventure's. Okay. Notable MLB playoff clinchers: Dodgers, Brewers, I almost said Indians, Guardians, Yankees, and Phillies. Joel Embiid signed a 3-year, $192.9 million extension. That's like $60-something million a year. He's rich. And Bryce Young was benched for Andy Dalton. Was it the worst trade ever? Probably.
Yeah, I mean, a couple things there. I think the main thing that I'd like to talk about is the Tua thing. It's sad. It truly is. There's no jokes about it. There's nothing to joke about. This is a big deal. And this is now his 4th concussion in the last 2 years. There is genuinely a sense you now have gotten your contract. You're good for life if you use it right. There is a sense that Tua could retire. I hope he doesn't, because I think he's great at football and I think he loves to play football. But I think it's a sad situation for him, and I think he's going to have to do a little bit of soul searching to kind of figure out what he wants to do and what's best for him and his family. Prayers are with Tua for sure. But to lighten up the mood a little bit, yeah, Bryce Young is not a good quarterback. It was the worst trade of all time, and Andy Dalton.
Red-headed revenge, baby.
I think he's going to take advantage to a couple wins this year and not 0, like Bryce Young might have done.
I don't think Tua's going to retire. I just don't think.
I don't know. It's just a tough
I feel like the Dolphins will pressure him to stay. They
Maybe.
will. The Dolphins will pressure him to stay.
I mean, yeah, they will, but it's all his decision.
Yeah,
it's all
for
on
sure.
him.
All right, let's get into a new segment, James.
Let's do it.
Gimme 5. So if you know from last season, we did Gimme 5 pretty much every episode. It was a lot of fun, so we decided we're going to come out. I won, by the way.
Can you explain Gimme 5, by the way?
So that's where you have, say I were giving James one. I would give him a category, and he would try to guess the 5 top players in that category, right?
Yeah.
So now we're doing it reverse. So if you could have guessed, I'm giving him the players and the number, and he has to guess the category.
I feel like this one's harder. I do think this one's harder, in my opinion.
I was thinking about. I was trying to pick one. And I was like, oh, he's gonna get that. I was like, I feel like it's either gonna be like super easy or super hard. It's tough to find a middle ground.
Yeah.
I feel like, but I found something of a middle ground. You have a chance to get it for sure. So my number 1 player is Tom Brady at 15.
With 15.
15.
Okay.
And then the rest of my players are all tied for second. Tony Gonzalez, Peyton Manning, Bruce Matthews, and Marlon Olsen are all tied at 14. Merlin Olsen. All tied at 14, and there's no other people at 14, just in 5.
Okay.
4.
So it's not all quarterbacks. So it can't be Super Bowls. It can't be MVPs. What's a lot of something that you can get in the NFL? Tony Gonzalez was in the league for a long time. Tom Brady was in the league for a long time. And Peyton Manning was in the league for a long time. So obviously they've accumulated something for their longitude in the NFL.
You didn't think about Bruce Matthews or Merlin Olsen?
I don't even know who they are, so no offense to them. I have no clue who those people are.
I think Bruce Matthews was edge rusher. Yeah.
Yeah,
Madden,
probably.
Madden.
Merlin Olsen, I think, was like a corner, but
I'm looking it up.
probably not. Let's be real. Okay, so it could be. I mean, Super Bowls played in. No, Tony Gonzalez didn't play in that many. Respect. I don't know. Like, what is something that you accumulate a lot? It could be just awards in general. It could be Pro Bowl selections. It could be. I mean, well, that's actually not bad. Pro Bowl selections, 15. That's a lot. 15. There's no way Tom Brady got 15.
All right, we're gonna need 30 seconds here.
All right, I'm just gonna go with that. I'm gonna go with Pro Bowl selections. I think Tom Brady had 15, which sounds crazy.
Ding, ding, ding.
Actually, that's
Pro
right.
Bowl selections. Most Pro Bowl selections of all time. Tom Brady 15. Tony Gonzalez 14.
Come on.
Peyton 14. Bruce Matthews 14.
Let's go.
Wilson, 14.
I thought that was gonna be a lot harder.
Good stuff. Yeah, I just it's tough to find a middle ground. I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, I tried to find a pretty easy one, but I went with the NBA this week.
Okay. I wanted to go with like MLB stat, but I feel like you would get those because it's like if I said like 45, 50, then it's like anyway, sorry. But I feel like if you go with like 45, 50, you know, like stolen bases. So like, I feel like those numbers are kind of gonna be like
exactly. So for my reverse gimme 5, my 5 are number 1.
Okay.
Buddy, are you on your phone right now?
Oh
wait.
That's our guest picker.
He's texting our guest picker. Stay tuned. Alright, so number 1, I have Dwight Howard. Number 2, Shaq. Number 3, DeAndre Jordan.
Okay.
Number 4, LeBron James.
You have numbers?
Number 5, Tyson Chandler.
You have numbers?
I don't have numbers.
You're supposed to have numbers.
I couldn't find numbers. It's very high numbers. They're very all close together, and they're above 1,000.
I want to say. What is it again?
I believe that Dwight Howard's is like 1,800.
I think I know it. I might just rip one here. I don't know. But it's obviously a big man thing with LeBron, just LeBron. I was thinking blocks or rebounds, but it's not rebounds. I think it's got to be blocks.
You think it's blocks?
I'm gonna think for a second to see if there's anything else.
I'm sorry, that's on my bad for getting numbers. I'll clean that up.
It's fine. This isn't scored, so I'm not that mad. Man, my gut says blocks, but also I feel like that'd be kind of too easy. You underestimate me. Give me blocks all time.
It is not blocks.
What? Oh.
So that's not a bad guess. It is the most dunks in NBA history. So I feel like that one wasn't too bad. But Dwight Howard has the most dunks of all time, and then obviously Shaq, DeAndre Jordan, LeBron, which is crazy, and then Tyson Chandler, and number 5, all the big men and power forwards. So, look, Hakeem has the most. Dude, can you imagine being a big man and having 2,100 steals? Like, imagine Hakeem
3,800 blocks. That was a bad guess. Anyway,
3,800 blocks and 2,100 steals. That is insane.
That's a good category, James. I wouldn't have gotten there, no matter what.
Yeah, I mean,
I would not have gotten there.
I thought
that's a good category.
I thought it was all right.
All right. So, without further ado, let's get our guest speaker in here. Our reigning champ, Jacob Bono.
Jacob Bono.
All right, you get your stuff.
Welcome.
They can't see you, I don't
Okay.
think.
He thinks he's here now.
All right.
All right, buddy.
Wait, you gotta like lock in. So it's gonna be a whole mess. Sorry about that.
Jacob Bono, welcome. His first on-screen appearance.
All right. So next week we're gonna have his trophy in here.
Oh yeah.
I don't even know if I'm in the camera right now.
What's up?
I don't even know if I'm in the camera right now.
Nah, you're in the camera. We're
I
good.
don't think I am. Anyway,
We're good.
I'm definitely not. Just get over a little bit. All right, squeeze in. All right. Yeah, you gotta see me. All right.
Okay.
What's up, Jacob?
Anyway,
What's up?
someone close that door.
Okay, I got you.
It's fine. So he's our reigning champ. He'll have the trophy back next week. Forgot to remind him. So, remember to talk a little subject. He's right next to the mics too. All right, so let's get started. NFL picks. We'll start with the Saints versus the Eagles. James, what do you got?
I actually have the Saints dropping this one. That's not what my heart said, but I went with Philly. I think they get back on track. And I do think the Saints drop this one at home. I don't want them to, but I do think this is the game that they drop.
All right, well, New Orleans is hot, and the Eagles are really not hot. They've been struggling ever since the middle of last year. Give me the New Orleans Saints. Jacob.
Yes, I'm gonna have to agree with Boucher. I'm gonna go with the New Orleans Saints with AJ Brown out. I think the Saints will. The Saints defense will stop them nearly every drive.
Sure. And of course, Derek Carr is the next Drew Brees. So.
Yes.
Next, Steelers versus Chargers. James, what you got?
I went with Steelers. This game's in Pittsburgh. The Chargers are now 2-0, which is surprising to me. I do think this is a game they drop going into Pittsburgh. They're gonna have to rely on the run game either way. But I do think the Chargers. It's a rough awakening in Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh wins this one pretty easily.
Pittsburgh. All right. I have Pittsburgh as well. Their defense is going to be too much for a young Chargers offense with not very many weapons.
I have to agree with the Pittsburgh Steelers over the Chargers.
All right, next one, Texans, Vikings. James, what do you got?
I went with the Texans. Minnesota is also 2-0, which is also surprising. But I think Houston shows up here. They go to Minnesota. I don't know. This was kind of a pick 'em game for me. I went with Houston.
Yeah, I did too. Houston's just better. There's just no way around it.
Yeah, I have to go with Houston also.
All right, next one, Tampa Bay, Denver.
I went with Tampa Bay. I think this is a pretty easy one. It's at home. Baker's been playing out of his mind. I think this is a blowout. I think Mike Evans has a big game. I think the defense for Tampa Bay barely steps on the field. And I think the Bucs win this one big.
Yeah, I got the Bucs too. Tampa Bay will be proving a lot of people wrong this year. I know it. And Denver just stinks. So give me the Bucs.
Yeah, I'll take the Bucs too. I think they put at least 60 on the board.
At least 60. Nice.
Wow.
How is if you put give us like an outrageous prediction for every single. We're gonna this is a new thing now. I'm just making this up. If you give us like an outrageous prediction for every game, and you get one, you get an extra point.
What does that mean?
If you give us like an outrageous prediction for each game,
Is that your outrageous
and he
prediction?
gets one, and then he gets one, then you get three. How about this? You get three like crazy predictions, and then if you get one of them right, then you get 2 points.
Okay, so Tampa Bay is going to score 60.
All right.
Yep.
Okay.
I don't know. You write that down.
It's not a bad idea.
All right. Yeah, I kind of like it. All right. Anyway, Green Bay versus Tennessee.
I think it's an easy game for Green Bay. It's going to be Malik Willis starting, but Malik Willis had a very good game last week. I think the defense for Green Bay is what comes out on top. Will Levis has not played smart in his first 2 games. I think he throws a couple interceptions. And Green Bay walks out of here with a win.
Yeah, I got Green Bay too. Tennessee's just not good. Will Levis just not good. And Green Bay showed they can win whoever their quarterback is. So I got Green Bay.
Yeah, Green Bay's hot right now. I'm going to go with Green Bay.
All right, Giants, Browns.
I'm going to go with my heart here. I'm going to go with the New York Giants. It's in Cleveland, but I do think that the Giants this year are a sleeper team. I said that in the first episode. I think this is a big game for Malik Neighbors, for Daniel Jones. I think it's a bounce-back game. And I think the Giants take this one by a field goal in the end.
So I'm still doing the Giants record real quick.
It's 0-2.
It's 0-2. All right, they're 0-2.
Yeah.
So that's rough.
They lost to the Jets and Commanders.
Yeah, the Browns' defense is too good. I'm just telling you, they're too good for a Giants' offense that is just not very good at all. I expect a low-scoring game, but expect Cleveland on top.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Cleveland too. The Giants just aren't very good. Without
Yeah.
Saquon, they can't really do anything.
Give me 3 points. Oh, we didn't even say the standings.
What do you mean?
I'm up 21-19. We
Yeah.
picked. Even there was no episode last week, we picked and we tied. I think, and I won the first week by 10.
You're up 21-19.
21-19. All right.
And then we'll have like a guest picker list after
Yeah.
Jacob next week.
Indianapolis, Chicago.
I actually think Indianapolis wins this one. Last week on Monday Night Football or Sunday Night Football, Caleb Williams did not look good. He was getting hit a lot. I think he took 7 sacks. I don't think this is a good game for the Bears. I think it's sloppy, and I think the Colts win this one in Indy.
Yeah, the Bears just aren't that good. They're
Yeah.
just not. And the Colts are gonna have a big bounce back after starting 0-2. Give me the Colts.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Colts too. They have to break that losing streak.
Are you gonna just pick with us every time?
No, I didn't pick.
Okay.
Nah, this guy's picked in his head.
All right.
Your numbers on?
Carolina versus Las Vegas.
This is Las Vegas. Any game that Carolina plays, I'm going to pick against them. They're not a good team. I don't know. I think the Raiders' running game gets going in this one, and I think Las Vegas wins this one pretty handily.
Who's ready for the redhead revenge, baby?
Okay, bro.
This is gonna be a terrible game. This is gonna be absolutely horrible.
Yeah, I'm
but
not
give
watching this
me the
game.
Panthers.
I don't think it's gonna be a close game, but I have the Raiders on top by like 7 or 10.
Good pick.
You still have 2 more outrageous predictions left. That's not one of them because it's not outrageous. All right, Seattle, Miami.
I have Miami winning this one. I wanted to pick Seattle. It's at Lumen Field. I think Miami's too powerful. I don't think Miami's going to be that good this year. I don't even know who they're starting at quarterback. But I do think Miami walks out of here with a win. I think it's good for Tua and good for the organization. I think they win by a field goal. I think it's close.
Tua's fine.
No, Skylar Thompson's terrible. He's just absolutely pitiful. This will be a very ugly game. Seattle's the better quarterback. They have still great skill players. It's going to be Seattle.
Yeah, I think Seattle's gonna win here by at least 20.
All right. Minus 20. All right. Baltimore, Dallas. Probably the best game of the week.
I actually have Dallas taking this one. I have Baltimore dropping to 0-3. I think Dallas bounces back. I think their defense is the thing that steps up. I think their defensive line is a good game against the run game and Lamar Jackson. I think Dallas wins this one by a touchdown. I think it's close. I think Dak has a really good game. I think Dallas just plays overall very well.
These are 2 teams that are at a really low point right now in their season, right? Cowboys coming off a really bad loss. Ravens 0-2 coming off a really bad loss. But Baltimore is too good not to bounce back, right? They're not going to be 0-3. Give me Baltimore.
Yeah.
I have Baltimore also. We saw what the Saints running did to the Dallas defense, so I think the Baltimore is going to do even better than that.
Mm-hmm.
And Baltimore's going to take this game.
All right. This next game is the toughest for me to pick, in my opinion. Detroit, Arizona.
Yeah. This is a game that I also kind of struggled with. But I went with the Arizona Cardinals and Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray had a game last week, him and Marvin Harrison. They finally started to find Marvin Harrison Jr. And I think the Cardinals win this one at home. I think the Lions are a very good team. I do say they still make the playoffs this year, but I think they're going to drop a couple games at the start of the season. I think the Cardinals going to head on top.
Yeah, it's a really good pick. I actually have really sound logic for this. They both played the Rams. Arizona looks much better, so they're going to win. Give me that. Yep. They also won by a lot more.
That's what they look.
Didn't go overtime.
That's what they look.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I have Detroit this game. I think that they are gonna their passing game is gonna be on, and I don't think the Arizona Cardinals are gonna be able to stop them.
All right.
Okay.
San Francisco and the Rams.
Also a pretty hard game for me to pick. I went with the Niners in the end. It's in LA. It's at SoFi, but I do think the Niners come out on top here. I think Jordan Mason is a big game once again. And I think the Niners win this one actually pretty easily. I think they win by 14.
Yeah, this is gonna be a really well played football game. Two teams that play really good football every time they step on the field. Except for last week with the Rams.
Yeah.
Anyway, give me the 49ers. They're just the better team. They'll pull away late.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with 49ers. I don't think the Rams have any offensive stuff without Puka. They only have one option with Cooper Kupp, really.
Cooper Kupp might not play.
But you had the Niners, right?
Which could be even worse.
Yeah, if
Yeah,
Cooper
the
Kupp
Niners.
doesn't play, then definitely the Niners.
Yeah. All right. Chiefs, Falcons. Remember, you still have that last
Yes.
prediction.
This was a game that I actually did really want to pick the Falcons because I picked the Falcons on Monday Night Football last week. But I can't pick them against the Chiefs on Sunday night. I think the Chiefs win this one. I think it's close. I think Drake London and Kirk Cousins keep it going. I think they have a really good offensive scheme that they figured out. Chiefs are too good. I think Travis Kelce finally has a good game, and the Chiefs win this one.
Yeah, I just traded for Kelsey fantasy, so have a good game. Kansas City is just the best team in the NFL. There's no doubt about it. Everyone, I think, is at consensus at this point.
They will be without Pacheco though for 6 weeks. So
6 to 8 weeks.
yeah, that's a
Yeah, but all the stuff Atlanta did this offseason, I just don't think they're that good. Give me Kansas City.
I'm gonna have to go to Kansas City also. I feel like it's gonna be a kind of close game, but they're gonna take away at the end.
All right, next we got the LSU Heisman game, Commanders Bengals.
I am so excited to watch this game.
We know.
And I think Cincinnati drops to 0-3. I'm going to go with Jaden Daniels. I'm going to go with the Washington Commanders. I think it's really close. I think Daniels has a big game. I think Terry McLaurin finally figures it out, and I think they try to find him on Monday Night Football. I don't think Cincy's going to be able to stop the Jaden Daniels run. I think it's very close, but I do have Washington coming out on top. I'm so excited to watch this game.
Let's play a game real quick. Let's play a game.
All right.
Who has more, Cincinnati wins or Washington touchdowns last week? They're the exact same, 0. Cincinnati will bounce back versus a bad Commanders team. Give me the Bengals.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go to the Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow and Jaden Daniels obviously gonna go back and forth, but Joe Burrow is gonna come up on top. I feel like they might actually win by 20+.
Oh,
I think this is a prove-it game for Jamar Chase. I think this is the game against one of the worst secondaries in the league that he has to get his contract. This is the game.
Yeah, well, he's
Truly, he's not played well.
The Bengals are so much better than the Commanders in every way. Anyway,
they're not a better quarterback.
You think Jaden Daniels is better than Joe Burrow at quarterback right now?
Can that be my outrageous take?
You don't get an outrageous take, but that is horrible. Last one. Oh, yeah, so that was on Monday night, so we have 2 Monday night games.
There's 2 Monday night games.
Second Monday night game, Jaguars-Bills.
I will not be watching this game. I'm going to go with the Bills. I don't know. It's in Buffalo. This game, I was really just a pick up for me. I don't think the Jags are going to be as good as people thought this year. I have the Bills winning this one pretty easily.
Yeah, me too. It was a real start for Jacksonville this year. It's so interesting. They can go so high, so low. But Josh Allen doesn't need receivers, so he's just going to win.
Yeah, the Bills are going to win this game. The Jags really don't have any receivers to catch the ball, and with their tight end Evan Ingram out, they're not going to be able to do anything.
Yeah, all right, so Jacob had a great week last year. I think it was 12 or 15 or something.
Yeah, no, yeah.
So, that's why he's here
first.
first.
Replicate that.
Yeah, let's see if he can replicate that. Good work, James.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Anyway,
I'm working on it.
I still don't know if I'm in the camera. I hope I am.
We're in the camera.
I believe.
Anyway, Jacob's gonna stay here.
You're going to stay for Dog of the Week.
Yeah, we're gonna go Dog of the Week.
Dog of the Week!
All right, you start us off.
Okay, so I went with a true freshman from Nashville, Tennessee, starting for one of the most powerhouse SEC teams, Texas A&M quarterback Marcel Reed. I think the biggest thing in this is going in as a true freshman. He went into Florida, who is not a good team. He went to the Swamp and won pretty easily. Looked really good. He went 11 for 17, 178 yards, 2 touchdowns. He also had 13 carries, 83 yards, and a touchdown. As a true freshman, going into a place like the Swamp, that is very hard to do, and that's why he's my Dog of the Week this week.
Yeah, especially as the backup. Yeah, okay, well, everyone looks over here. Especially as the backup,
it's insanely impressive.
Yeah, all right, so my Dog of the Week, Georgia State receiver Ted Hurst. I don't know who that is either. 7 receivers, 128 yards. 7 receptions, 128 yards, 2 touchdowns, including the game-winning touchdown with 15 seconds left to knock off Vanderbilt. They're going for Georgia State.
Okay. All right. He likes to go with the little teams. The little brother teams.
Yeah, well, because I wanted to try to get these guys out there. And also, none of the big guys ever also had big games.
And Jacob has actually cooked us up a little Dog of the Week for himself.
I have.
So
for my Dog of the Week, I have LSU running back Caden Durham.
I like it.
LSU did not have any running game the first game of their season. So,
Or the second game.
Or the second game. But against South Carolina, they really stepped that up, and Caden Durham showed how he could be the starting running back for LSU.
true freshman too.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Alrighty.
Yeah. So without further ado, thank y'all for listening to season 3, episode 3 of the Right Bench podcast. Like, subscribe. Check us out on Spotify, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Thank you, Jacob, for running some of that.
Appreciate you for being here, dog.
Yeah. See y'all on the next one.
Peace out, Girl
Peace
Scouts.
out, guys.